Okay, welcome to my pretend cooking show. Okay, so today we are making macaroons, French macaroons, lavender lemon macaroons. Okay, so the recipe I'm using is from Mildly Mendering. I have it linked below, so if you want to look at it and try it yourself. Okay, so first, I'll name all the ingredients we have. Okay, we have almond flour, regular sugar, powdered sugar, egg whites, lavender oil. The recipe does account for lavender extract, but I could not find that anywhere, so I have lavender oil. So I'm going to change the recipe a little bit using that. And we have cream of tartar, lemon zest, and lemon juice for the actual cookie. We're going to make the buttercream after we bake the cookie part. Okay, so first it says to, in a medium bowl, sift the almond flour in the, just the regular conventional sugar, but I'm actually gonna start whisking the egg whites first because I know how long this is. Okay. First I'm gonna do the egg whites though because I know how long that's gonna take. So it's 2 large egg whites. Okay. I just used this regular pitcher of egg whites, and it's 3 tablespoons per egg, so it's 6 tablespoons. Or you could just use 2 large eggs. Either way. Okay. Pour that in the mixer. Also, you should use a whisk, but I don't have a whisk for my KitchenAid. I'm just gonna use a paddle, and it's gonna be fine. Okay. Plug this in first. Okay, so it says to whisk this just to large peaks, which I guess I'm medium. Since this is loud, I'm gonna repeat what I do. Okay, so first, while we're whisking this, we are gonna sift the almond and the sugar twice in a bowl. Then while this is going, I'm gonna slowly add, the graduated sugar. Yeah, we're gonna sift the powdered sugar. We're gonna add the regular sugar to this, and to the eggs, and the lavender extract. So how much sugar you use? You use 1/4 of a cup of just regular sugar, for 1 cup of almond flour, then 3/4 of a cup of the powdered sugar. So we're gonna sift those, add the regular sugar to the eggs, the lavender. This calls for 1/4 of a tablespoon of lavender extract, since I have oil and I read that it's a lot stronger. So I am going to use 1/8 or maybe less. I'm gonna use less than 1/8. Then I'm gonna taste it and see how that goes. I know when you bake lavender, it bakes away in the oven, so you kind of want to use more. But I never used lavender also, so but we're gonna try it. Then you add the lemon juice, the lemon zest, which is 1/4 of a teaspoon of lemon zest and 1/8 of a teaspoon of lemon juice, and I just cut a lemon. Simple. Then you mix that, and you when it gets good, more of a tips, you add the food coloring. It says to use the gel food coloring, but I have liquid and it's violet, so I'm just not gonna use a lot to make it look lavender. Okay, so that's what I'm using. So I'm gonna mix this. It's gonna be pretty loud, and I'm gonna do what I just said. Okay, here we go. know to stop whisking is if there's some, okay, that can be a little more. See how it's kind of droopy? You want hard, straight up peaks. So I'm gonna whisk it a little bit longer. Okay, well, I think we're fine now. Okay, so, and this is done. So it says to add the lavender extract, but I'm using oil, so it's gonna be a little bit. So it says to add, if you're using regular extract, you want to use 1/4 of a teaspoon, but since I'm using oil, I'm gonna start with just an 1/8. I want to just use an 1/8. See how that tastes. Okay. Then it says to add the lemon extract, which is 1/4 of a teaspoon, and the lemon juice, the fresh lemon juice, which is an 1/8. Okay, and you just want to mix this on low just to make it blended. Okay, so the food coloring is really up to you. If you want really purple, add a lot. If you just wanted a light lavender, which I do, I'm just gonna add a teeny bit. Like 1 drop. I know that if you're using liquid food coloring goes a long way. So you just want to use okay. I need a spatula. It's over there. Okay, guys. So I just took the mixture off and I scraped the sides down to put all the mixture in one. I did taste it a little bit. The lavender is really strong and bitter, and I'm really hoping it really bakes off. So, if not, then we just know not to use oil. Simple as that. Okay, so the next step is to add the almond flour and the confection sugar. And you just want to fold it in because you don't want to mix out the lightness of the egg whites, because that's what makes the macaroon. I hate myself. Okay, so pour this baby in. I'm gonna fold it so you don't lose it. I know it's gonna be really hard not to mix it, but just be patient and just fold it. It might take a little bit. You just want to fold it in there. It's going to take a while, so just be patient. Oh, okay, I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done. Okay, so the next step is transferring the batter into the piping bag. Okay, so the tip I'm using is a number 24. It's just use a large tip. I know people, if you oh, flower by the throat. Okay, so I know a lot of people use like just a bag and they cut the tip. You can use that, do that too. If you don't have a Bolton tip or a cake decorating tip. How I do it is I fold the sides over like this, and I just shake it down. So I don't want it to use all that, you lose the air. So I don't like I don't like. I never made these before, but I think it's a good idea not to mess with the batter too much. No air bubbles. Then I usually twist it so it doesn't come up. It's coming through though. Okay, so it says these when you pipe them, put parchment paper down. I recommend using parchment paper. Do not. I think I tried to make these one time and they did not work out. Not these exact ones, but I didn't use parchment paper and I couldn't get them up and they were flat. It was just horrible. Okay, so so you want to pipe 1.5 inch rounds, and they should put 1.5 inches away. So the good thing about parchment paper is they do have little squares. At least I'm using Reynolds parchment paper. So I mean, if you want to use that, that's cool. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going every other square. Okay, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so once you do pipe them on, you want to bang the sheet. It says to bang the sheet, well, tap the sheet, don't bang it. Tap the sheet a few times so the air bubbles pop, and then tap it. I think that's good enough. I don't know though. Okay, so after you do that, so when I did make these before, I didn't do this, and so I think it's a very important detail. You want them to dry. They say to dry for 20 to 30 minutes, so just sit at room temperature for 20 to 30 minutes, then you bake them. So when you do bake them, you preheat the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. This says for 17 and 19 minutes. I have a gas oven, so usually things in my oven bake a lot quicker, so I am not going to do 17 minutes, but if you do have an electric oven, I usually start I'll probably put them in for like 13 minutes. Usually the rule is you don't open the oven, usually while they're in there for 10 minutes, because that means the heat and the chemical reaction is going to go, so do not open the oven at all. But after, usually, the rule is, I think it's old wives' tale, it's usually 10 minutes, but, so I'm probably gonna put them in for about 15 minutes, I say. But that's just me, but everyone has a different oven, you know your oven, so bake as you want. Okay, so we are going to start on the buttercream now. Okay, so first, what you need fresh lemon juice, powdered sugar, some unsalted butter, honey, and some salt. Okay, well first, you plug in the mixer. Okay, then first you need to put the butter. You should really have the butter at room temperature, but I don't, so I'm gonna add the butter in to get softened in the mixer before I add everything else. I don't know, if you can soften in the microwave, you can, but I don't think you should have any liquid butter, so I think it's just safe to soften it like this. Okay, so before I start that, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so when you're ready to add stuff, you add in powdered sugar, which is a cup and 1 3/4 of a cup. Then the honey, which is a tablespoon of honey. lemon, which is I think a half a teaspoon. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a teaspoon of honey. Teaspoon of honey. A half a teaspoon of lemon juice, and food coloring if you want to. And I think it's a pinch of salt. And I'm gonna add some yellow food coloring. I have the gel on this one, so how I like to do it is use a toothpick with the gel and put it in and mix it up. Okay, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, and while you're doing this, you wanna scrape the sides, especially for this butter. Soft. That's good. The sugar. And I would add the sugar a little bit at a time so it doesn't always explode. Okay, so they're out of the oven. They should have like a little thing right here. I think what it's called. It's supposed to lift, and it didn't. I mean, they were fluffy though, so that's a plus. Okay, so I made the buttercream. I put it in a piping bag. I'm using a 12 tip. And what you just do, you find ones that look semi-identical, which is you just pipe around. Like so. Make a nice sandwich. A macaroon. Okay. Continue to do that till you're done. Okay? Okay guys, this is the finished product. I made 8 little macaroons. Wait, that's 9 little macaroons. And I did taste them. The lavender is still a little too strong, so if you are using lavender oil, I wouldn't even use 1/8 of a teaspoon. Really use less than 1/8. And I ended up using a lot of lemon in my icing because I knew how strong the lavender was going to be, so just counteract that. Which I honestly think don't taste that bad. Will I ever use lavender again? Probably not. Yeah, so I'll see you next week, and I am gonna make some shepherd's pie from Dublin, Ireland. So, see you then.